Once, not too long ago, I was a cab driver in Toronto. That means I helped people get to where they needed to go, in my car. One early morning, while it was still dark, I got a ride request. The world was quiet. No birds, no cars, just me and the quiet street. I drove to a little house near High Park. Almost all the windows were dark, except for one, with a tiny glowing light in the corner window. I parked outside and waited. Most drivers would beep beep once or twice, then leave if no one came. But I didn't. I felt something, like a quiet voice inside saying, "Go to the door." So I got out and I walked up the little stone steps. I knocked. Knock, knock. After a moment, a tiny voice answered, "Just a minute." The door opened slowly with a creak. There she was, an old, soft-looking lady. Her name was Miss Elsie. She was wearing a big coat even though it wasn't cold. Her shoes were tiny. By her side was a little blue bag. "Can you carry my bag to your car?" she asked in a whisper. Of course, I smiled. I took her bag to my cab and came back to help her walk. She held my arm as we walked slowly, 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 like the world was made of clouds. She kept saying, thank you for your kindness." I said, "It's nothing. I just try to help people like I'd help my own grandma." We got in the cab. She gave me an address. Then she said something funny. "Can we drive through downtown first?" I blinked. "It's not the fastest way." She smiled with soft eyes and said, "That's okay. I'm in no hurry. I'm going to a hospice." I looked in the mirror. She wasn't smiling anymore. Her eyes were shiny, like the sky before it rains. She said, very quietly, like a secret, "I don't have any family left." She looked out the window. "The doctor says I don't have long." I didn't know what to say, so I didn't say anything. I just turned off the meter. That means I wouldn't charge her any money. And I said, "Where would you like to go?" For 2 whole hours, we drove around Toronto. She showed me the tall glass building where she used to work. She pointed to a little red house near St. Clair Avenue where she once lived with her husband. We even passed a big empty building near King Street where she said she used to dance as a young girl. Sometimes she asked me to stop. She stared out the window, not speaking, just remembering. As the sun started to wake up and the sky turned pink and orange, she said softly, "Okay, I'm ready now." So I drove. We didn't talk anymore. The place was small and quiet, a hospice near Lake Ontario. 2 kind people were waiting outside. They wheeled her out gently. I got her bag and followed slowly behind. "How much do I owe you?" she asked. "Nothing," I whispered. "But you have to make a living," she said. "There are other passengers," I replied with a little smile. Then I did something I didn't plan. I leaned down and I hugged her. She held me so tight. "You gave an old woman a little bit of joy," she said. "Thank you." I held her hand for one more moment. Then I walked away. The door behind me closed with a quiet click. It sounded like a soft goodbye. And then I drove. But my heart didn't. My heart stayed there, with her. I couldn't speak. I didn't even turn on the radio. I just thought, what if she had gotten someone mean, someone angry, someone in a rush? What if I had just beeped and drove off? I'll tell you something. Out of all the things I've done in my life, that little ride with Miss Elsie, it was the most important. And now I tell this story to you because sometimes it's hard to be kind. Sometimes people are mean. Sometimes you feel hurt and want to yell or walk away. But please, be kind, even if it's scary, even if no one else is. Because your kindness might be the only light someone sees that day. And you are someone's sunshine. Let your heart be soft, not hard like a rock. Give your words like hugs. Say, you're amazing. Say, you look beautiful today. Say, I love you. Because your words can heal. Your heart can help. You are small, but your kindness is huge. A long time ago, when I was younger, I used to play basketball every week at a big, echoey gym in Chicago. The floor squeaked, the ball bounced, the air smelled like sneakers and sweat. We laughed, we ran, we played hard. Then one day, someone new showed up. He was a boy named Jayden. He didn't smile, he didn't talk, he didn't laugh. He didn't even say hi. Just came in, played basketball, and left. He never passed the ball. He never called anyone's name. He was like a ghost on the court, quiet, cold, still. The other players started to ignore him. He's weird, they'd whisper. He's rude. He doesn't like anyone. But something deep, deep in my chest whispered something to me. A voice I couldn't hear with my ears, but I felt it. It said, be nice to him, make him feel seen. So the next time I saw him, I walked over and said, hey Jayden, it's great to see you today. He didn't look at me. He didn't smile. He didn't say a word. He just hit his chest twice. Thump, thump, and walked away. I didn't know what it meant. Was it good? Was it bad? I didn't know. But I did the same thing. Thump, thump, and walked away too. And every time I saw him, I said the same thing. Hey Jayden, great to see you today. Thump, thump. He'd hit his chest. Thump, thump. I'd hit mine. He never said anything. Not for days, not for weeks, not for years. Then, one day, I stopped going to that gym. Life changed. I didn't see Jayden anymore. 5 whole years went by. I forgot all about the boy who never smiled. Then one bright sunny Sunday, I was walking out of a Walmart in White Lake, Michigan, and a tall man walked up to me. He smiled, a real smile. His eyes looked familiar. I'm Jayden, he said. I froze. Jayden, from the gym. He nodded. That was the most I'd ever heard him talk. Then he told me his story. He said, I grew up in the projects of Chicago. It was scary. It was lonely. At 14, I had to live on my own. I had no mom, no dad, no family. Nobody wanted me. He looked down. I never felt loved, never felt good enough. I felt like I didn't belong anywhere. Then he looked right at me, and his voice shook. One of the only reasons I came to that gym was to hear you say, great to see you today. My heart got tight, like it was being hugged too hard. He said, no one ever told me that before. No one said they were happy to see me, not even once. He wiped a tear. You made me feel like I mattered. I didn't know what to say. I almost cried, because I didn't do anything big. I just said hi. I just smiled. I just cared. That little great to see you today was like water to a sad, thirsty heart. Jayden smiled again and said, now I'm married. I have 2 little boys. I tell them every day that I love them, because someone finally told me. He waved goodbye and walked away, and I just stood there, still, quiet. But this time, not sad. My heart was full, and that's when I learned something very, very important. Nobody is in your life by accident. That strange kid at school, that quiet person on the playground, that grumpy face in the hallway. They're not there by mistake. They might be hurting. They might be alone. They might need your smile like they need AIR. So if your heart tells you to be nice, listen. If you feel like saying hi or you're awesome, say it. Even if they don't say it back. Even if they just hit their chest and walk away. Keep loving. Because one kind word can change a whole life. It can make a sad heart smile again, just like Jayden. My name is Michael, and once I almost let go of the whole world, until a tiny boy with sticky fingers and a melting ice cream cone saved me. It was a warm and sunny afternoon in Central Park in New York City. Birds were chirping, children were laughing, balloons floated, but not me. I sat alone on a wooden bench under a big old tree. The world felt heavy, too heavy. My chest ached. My heart felt like it was made of stones. I was so sad that I couldn't feel the sunshine. I couldn't hear the birds. I couldn't even cry anymore. But my eyes were wet. Tears were falling like raindrops. I didn't care who saw. Then I heard the sound of little feet. Pat, pat, pat. I looked up slowly. There he was. A tiny boy, no taller than my knee, stood in front of me. He had wild curly hair, bright brown eyes, and a giant ice cream cone in his hand. It was chocolate, and it was dripping all over his fingers. He looked at me with his big eyes, then looked at his cone. Then he did something that made my whole world stop. He held it out to me. He didn't say a word, just held out his little cone with his tiny hand and said in the softest voice I've ever heard, "You can have mine." My lip trembled. I blinked. I couldn't speak. He looked confused for a second, then sat beside me on the bench, his legs dangling, and smiled. A little boy smiled at me when I couldn't even smile at myself. He looked at the sky, kicked his little feet, and said, "You look like you need happy." I looked at this tiny human, and something inside my heart cracked open. I let out a loud, wobbly sob. I cried, hard, right there. But not the kind of crying that hurts. It was the kind that feels like healing, like someone found the pieces of your broken heart and gently started putting them back together. I asked, "What's your name?" He smiled, proudly licking the side of his hand. "I'm Elio. I'm 4. And my mommy says when people cry, it's because their heart got too full." "Is your heart too full?" I nodded, unable to speak. He nodded too, very serious. "It's okay. Ice cream helps." I laughed, for the first time in months. I took a deep breath. The air felt new, like I could actually breathe it now. Then I heard a gentle voice call out, "Leo, don't go too far." A woman came jogging over, his mom, I assumed. She looked worried at first, then saw me smiling through tears, and her face softened. "I hope he didn't bother you," she said kindly. I shook my head. "No, ma'am. Your son just saved my life." She looked surprised. I didn't explain. I didn't need to. She smiled and kissed the top of Leo's messy curls. "He's got a good heart." I nodded. "The best heart." Leo looked up at me one last time and said, "You can get your own ice cream now. You're smiling." And just like that, he skipped away. Skip, skip, skip. Later that night, I wrote about it online. I didn't use his full name. I didn't even know it. I just wrote, "A little boy named Leo gave me his only ice cream cone today when I was thinking of giving up on life. His kindness made me stay. I hope the world gives him back all the love he shared in one tiny scoop of chocolate." And guess what? Millions of people read it. It went everywhere. People cried. People smiled. People hugged their kids tighter. One boy, one cone, one moment changed everything. And now I carry that memory in my heart every day. Not because of the ice cream, but because someone very small, looked at me and saw me. So if you ever feel like you're too small to help, if you think your kindness doesn't matter, remember Leo. Remember the boy who gave away his only treat to save someone who had no idea he still mattered. You have that power. Yes, you. Your smile can be someone's sunshine. Your hug can be someone's safety. Your words can be the lifeline someone needs to hold on, even if you're little, especially if you're little. Because little hearts often have the biggest love,